Well, good day. So, for today, we're gonna talk about the first cartoon appearance of that feisty female feline foe,
the villainous Catwoman.
So, alright, let's meow.
Yeah! So, Batman and Robin are chasing down a jellicle cat for reasons unknown when suddenly the Batmobile gets caught up in some incredibly expensive looking and elaborate car trap. Like, there's a car elevator and a ramp system. Like, man, how would a crook build this in a building without city officials noticing?
But I digress.
The trap leads the dynamic duo into an escape room, which was set up by Catwoman. In her dance cage perch up above, she tells them how she set this room up, which features 9 doors featuring 9 deadly traps. You know,
the 9 lives of a cat.
Or a bat in this case, and a bird, and only 1 door leads to safety. But Batman quickly gets Catwoman down on the floor level with them, where she is forced to deal with these deadly traps alongside the team. But, I gotta say, man, these trapdoors, they are pretty basic, It seems like as long as you're just not in front of the door when you open it, like, you should be fine. So they get out of there pretty quick. And during the escape, Catwoman doused the dynamic duo in some kind of gas, and she had her jellicle sidekicks put a bomb in the Batmobile. It's set to explode when the car hits 60 miles per hour, which they do, and which they somehow survive. I don't know how, and I don't think the writers knew how either. I think they wrote themselves into a corner because all the action happened off screen, so we have no idea how they survived it.
Well played. Well played indeed. Meanwhile,
that spray that Catwoman doused the team with, well, turns out it's radioactive. Not to kill them, which, would be really convenient. No. It's to make them glow. And it will last 24 hours. The reason she did this was to expose the dynamic duo's secret identities. When they're ootin' a boot in public and they're glowing, she'll know who it is. And they can't just stay home because it's election day, man. They gotta get out there and vote. So, because she's a Batman villain, she told Batman, Robin, and Commissioner Gordon her plan, so that gave Batman time to, set up a counter plan. And what did he do? Well, he got Commissioner Gordon and Chief O'Hara to spray themselves with some kind of spray so they glowed as well. Thus, she doesn't know which one out of the 3 is Batman. But, you could probably figure it out, right? The height of the person, the build. Commissioner Gordon's kind of older. Chief O'Hara doesn't look like a Batman build, so you would, kind of piece it together, right? But no, she abandons that, so, nah. So I guess plan B it is. So Robin, by himself, drives after the Catwoman and her henchman, known as the Cat's Meows. Oh man, that is a great name. But anyway, these guys beat the crap out of this teenager like biff, bam, boom, knockout. Like, geez, man, would these guys have mixed emotions, Like, on one hand, you vanquished one of your foes, but on the other hand, you just beat up a kid. Jeez. They don't seem to care, so the plan goes ahead. So when Catwoman sets up the Robin-sized bait for this new bat trap, Batman flies over in his Batcopter, which is a great machine, man, but, not too stealthy there. But then again, man, if I had my own helicopter, I'd probably use the hell out of it too. But I guess it worked out pretty good because Batman broke Robin out of the trap pretty easily. But Catwoman gets the dynamic duo captured again and tosses them into a pit of quicksand. Well, that's actually a pretty convenient thing to have handy, right? But how will Batman and Robin escape this time? Quite easily with their jet heel units. I guess they just click them together and they fly out of the quicksand like lickety-split. So, in believing that the heroes are dead, Catwoman and her terrible tabbies rob a jewelry store. But nay, our heroes are still alive! And they beat the crap out of these jellicle cats and put Catwoman behind bars. This game of bat and mouse is over! And with that, that is the end of this perfect episode.
Like, man, that was actually, like a really awesome episode, right? Like, I dare say the whole back and forth between the dynamic duo and Catwoman was actually pretty awesome. Totally action-packed! In cartoon form, it was kind of like watching a heavyweight bout, right? Catwoman had Batman up against the ropes, but then he turned the tables like it was non-stop action, So good job, Filmation. Good job indeed. Which is pretty fitting, because Catwoman is like a really crafty and resourceful kind of a villain, and her talents were showing off pretty good in this cartoon. Well, except for that escape room, maybe. Like, she told Batman and Robin that she spent years on building this thing, in order to finally bring those two down. And like how elaborate it was, man, it must have been pretty damn expensive. So all those years, all that money gone in 5 minutes, when Batman like escaped out of there no problem. But even though that was a failure, she had the backup plan of, that glowing gas. And if that didn't work, she had the backup plan of blowing up the Batmobile. So that was the really awesome thing about this episode, right? Just when you think Batman wins, boof. Bam! She throws another curveball. Hairball? But of course, Batman and Robin are just as resourceful, right? Seeing as they're still alive. Some of it seemed kind of silly, right? Like you had the bat pulley that kind of pulled Robin out of that water trap. That thing looks kind of big. Like, where the hell does Batman store that? The Batcopter, it's kind of cheesy, kind of noisy, but still pretty awesome. All those gadgets and all that stuff that Batman uses, yeah, sure, man, it's all kind of corny, But it's all set up within certain parameters of a suspension of disbelief, right? Like, it only goes so far. And then they use the Jet Heal Pack. Like, sure, man, those things are pretty awesome, but that's going just a bit far. Like, those things have got to be pretty powerful, right? Like, what are the odds that one of them accidentally goes off and you just see Robin shoot into space? And while I was watching the episode, I apparently made an accident when I hit pause at a certain point, and this is what came up on the screen. It was a blink and you miss it kind of a scene. Robin doing what he can to save Catwoman from not getting impaled with one of the spears from her own traps. But this is what they animated. Like, holy crap! She could probably sue Robin. But this was a really awesome episode, right? And it really showcased how awesome Catwoman is as a villain and as a character, really. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I strongly suggest you do so, man, because it's wicked awesome. And now, let us go see what we can find you about Catwoman and other things about this episode.
So, Catwoman! Meow. So this femme feline is a classic Golden Age villain. And she first appeared in Batman #1 in 1940, where she sported quite a different look there, wearing a sensible dress and a cat mask. And she was originally just known as the Cat, with her crime identity relying heavily on the whole cat burglar theme. But with style! It was in her 5th appearance in Batman #10 where she was finally named Catwoman. So, Catwoman was based on a bunch of leading ladies in Hollywood at the time. She was a character with style and grace and beauty. And can be quite devious at times. And also, they're hoping that this character could really appeal to a bunch of young girls, so they would start buying the comics as well. But of course, that is the Golden Age Catwoman. Her more updated look and kind of stuff that we're more familiar with the character now is kind of based on her Silver Age persona. And her first Silver Age appearance was in Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, #70 in 1966. But still, same kind of character, right? Cat burglar, cat theme. Also, she was kind of created to be like a bit of a love interest for Batman, right? The friendly foe kind of a villain, I guess. Much more different nemesis than like, the Joker or any other kind of crook, So from a character perspective, man, like, frick, that's a great idea. And in the comics, Batman and Catwoman, with their interactions, it was kind of a mystery, what's going on between them and stuff, right? So yeah, pretty hip. And for me, man, that's kind of similar to, like, let's say, another crime fighter, Sherlock Holmes, who was infatuated with the woman. Irene Adler, she's smart and sophisticated enough to really, get Sherlock Holmes's eye, right? So yeah, kind of a similar vibe going on here, so it's pretty cool to see in that regard. Well, really, in every regard. So even though in the comics they're kind of a will they or won't they kind of a deal, in this episode, yeah, the Bat and the Cat are not friends. They're definitely trying to put each other away, man, so not so much of the comic stuff going on there. And this cartoon Catwoman is preceded by the 3 Catwomen from the popular live-action show that just happened. So this Catwoman, kind of took on their version of the character, right? Not so much the whole background and who she is, just that she's like a crime boss and, pretty cool. So we know that Catwoman's secret identity is Selina Kyle. But this show doesn't, focus on her background or her secret identity or like anything like that whatsoever, so we'll just skip all that stuff for this video. So, I know what some of you are thinking, and that would be, gee, most of the time we see Catwoman, she's either wearing black or gray or, sometimes purple. What the hell's going on with this green and white costume? Well, you will be forgiven if you are confused by all this, but, this show is actually, really touching on some pretty awesome comic book accuracy at the time, right? Late 1960s, and at that time, Catwoman was rocking a green cat suit, and I don't know why either. I never seen no green cat before, jeez. So that's what they were kind of going with, in this cartoon though, she did have like a bit more white kind of added to the uniform, with the mask, the gloves, and the boots and all that, which honestly, man, looks pretty good, but still doesn't remind me of a cat. She doesn't even have cat ears in this, man, like, come on. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for the character right now, especially pertaining to this episode. We've seen how awesome she is, she's got a cool costume, and for now, that's pretty much all we need to know about her, right? Oh yeah, and her henchman, the cat's meows. Great name, man. The Cat's Pajamas, that would have been a cool name too, I guess. But yeah, man, like I said, it's pretty much all I got. So with this, that, those, and the other things, I guess, that's that. Also, if you guys are interested, I created my own superhero show and I have the first episode out already. The Adventures of the Density. So if you guys would like to check it out, I'll have a link above here and a link at the end of the video for you to peruse there. Yeah, right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, feel free to do so. Or anything else, just to say hi. That's cool too. And other than that, have a great day. Thanks.